We're here today at the Haas Business School on the UC Berkeley campus to teach them the fundamentals of business design and business models. It's exciting to be here to talk to these students, these future innovation and business leaders, and give them the tools so that they can think about growth strategy and business model exploration and building new capabilities. Because innovation is so new, and in particular the integration of design and business is so new, that reaching these young people while they're still thinking about and exploring job opportunities, while they're still thinking about which industries to go into, it's definitely the thing that's going to make a difference in the long run in our industry. You know, I've sat in front of a lot of CEOs. I typically get 30 minutes. Often they're late by 10 or 15 minutes. I only have 15 minutes to describe their business opportunity to them. And that's what I'm going to convey to you today is what are the top 3 things that are associated with a business model that you have to explain to someone, and ideally pretty fast. But at the end of the day, all of these models, all they're trying to do is describe how the business is going to work, right? That's all it's trying to do. The way a business works today and how you profit, it's just so different now. It's so much more complex than it used to be. And so what's really happened over time is, while there have been those traditional business models, a whole variety of new business models have emerged which have disrupted traditionally how people make money. Everybody's talking about business models, and there's certainly some existing templates and frameworks out there that reflect some good thinking and some scholarly thought. But the realities of what it takes to get someone who's a CEO or a president of a business who only can give you 20 minutes or 35 minutes of their time, but wants to really understand what this large growth opportunity is and how this particular thing you're proposing, this new business model, is going to transform their business and fundamentally be different from the way they're doing things today. It's not just about the scholarly thoughts, it's not just about frameworks. It has to be more rooted in reality.
For a lot of people, I think design and innovation can be sort of this very abstract concept, and for you guys, you can sort of walk us through the process and also show us, you know, here are some products in the market that you've probably used that these processes helped to create.
All these product-based business models that were really easy to explain and everybody got was on one continuum, and the other continuum were these internet-based models. When we started having e-commerce and social media and all these other things, then you started having a variety of different business models emerge. Then you had people say freemium. We never talked about freemium in the product world. We talked about micropayments. We talked about software as a service. We talked about daily deals.
I've heard firsthand from so many students just since we started running these how much of a difference it's made to hear about how design and innovation is playing out in the real world. I think that for a lot of people, I would say for the majority of our students, this is just an introduction. Being at Haas, this is an introduction to design and innovation, and it's somewhat of an academic pursuit in some ways. And so what really makes it come alive, and I think what makes people get really interested about actually pursuing careers in this space and applying these things in their own industries, if they're going back to CPG or healthcare or whatever industry they might be in, is actually seeing how this works in the real world, and that's where you guys have come into play.
We asked 2 questions, right? One is, how are we making money differently? The second was, how much our money are we going to make and how we're going to protect it? The third one is just, how will we implement this from pilot to scale?
The idea is to really try to have the students get an increased focus in everything we do on what are the capabilities you need to really be an innovative leader. So whether it's value stream mapping like you're doing here today, which really comes out of the quality management literature, or whether it's you know, empathic design coming out of the design thinking literature. We're trying to say, how do you take all the bits and pieces of that and put them together so the students really get a sense of how to think about how they think, and then find ways to think differently.
Yeah, I think that's cool. Fantastic. Thank you.